So I have a little bit of a bomb to drop, and I don't mean to upset anybody or bring anybody down today. But remember, I was talking in October. It was like late October, early November, and October is breast cancer awareness, right?
Yes.
Awareness month. And I do my mammograms like clockwork every December. And so my appointment was set for December 1st. And I was just reminding, everybody because and I had thrown in there, don't forget to do your self exams, which I don't normally do because I go to my mammogram and I go to my gynecologist for my appointments like clockwork every year.
Yep.
And the gynecologist does a hand exam. So you feel like you're, in the zone and you're free and you're good. And plus, I have these dreaded implants that it's my biggest regret in life, but I have them. And it can kind of get in the way if you're doing your own self exam because there can be like little scar tissue and you might freak yourself out and it's nothing. So I just don't bother.
Yeah.
Well, I started having a lot of pain on my left side and it was really hurting. So I did an exam and I found something. So I had gone and it was crazy because I couldn't get in anywhere. You're talking about late October. Everything is booked solid. And I didn't want to wait till December.
Yeah.
So I called my general, no appointments. And so I just went there. I just went to my general and I was like, feel this. This is crazy. And I like bombarded them, but they took me. And she said, yeah, you need to have that looked at like ASAP. So I meanwhile went to a friend of mine who is a doctor, not that kind of doctor, but he's a doctor nonetheless. And he said, listen, it could be like just hard tissue. Sometimes female hormones and you're getting around that menopausal age. It could very well be just like these lumps that are created by hormones and they're benign and they're nothing and everything else. He said, so let me run some blood work on you. Meanwhile, so I go and I do the blood work. I start calling around to get appointments. I can't get a discovery mammogram to save my life. I call everywhere. And my normal place said, okay, well, the soonest we can do is November 26th. So, November 26th, it's not that far from the December, but at least it's closer. So I take it and then I start going in like a crazy person to every facility that does these exams from Northridge to Encino, Burbank, Pasadena, Glendale. I mean, I was in every one of them begging and they're like, we just don't have the time and the space to do that.
Wow.
So meanwhile, my blood tests come back and my friend says to me, yeah, you need to, your blood work's alarming. Get to a doctor immediately. So, and he said, get to your gynecologist. So, anyway, I do my discovery mammogram. They find it. And they say, you have to come back for a biopsy. And I go to schedule the biopsy and she's talking about, in a couple of weeks. And the doctor pulls her to the side and says, no, no, no. And whispers something to her. And she comes back and he says, oh, she wants to see you tomorrow. Come back in tomorrow morning. Can you do that? And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. So I go back in and I get 3 biopsies, not just 1, but 3, because they found some other suspicious looking things. And let me tell you something. I kind of thought biopsy, like, no big deal. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Biopsy is like painful. I had no idea. So it was painful. And I mean, I was shaking like crazy. And one of the nurses in training was like, oh, are you so cold? Do you want a blanket? And I was like, no, I'm fine. She's like, but you're shaking. And the nurse and the doctor both look at her and they were like, it's nerves. Like, just leave her. Just let her do this. And so we do the biopsy. And all the doctor says to me is, are you ready to go on this journey together? And he said, because there's going to be, I don't know what this is, but there's going to be further steps to be taken. So I'm like, oh, this is just great. It's like Merry Christmas. And so I have to wait 7 to 10 days for the results. And I wait and then I go into my doctor And she thinks I already know, my general. I don't know why she thinks I already know. She thought that my breast care center gave me the results, and she comes in just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "You don't even need to tell me now." Like, I already knew from the way she walked into the room. And so, yes, my my pathology reports came back positive for cancer.
So
So,
sorry.
I, this is how I spent my holidays. And listen, I cried and I went to the deepest, darkest thoughts, and I've really been through it. But I'm through to the other side. I found a great oncologist that I really like.
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing all further testing this week. I start today actually, so I'm fasting for that. Um, we're doing every MRI, CT, ultrasound scan, everything you can do. I'm doing all week until the 10th, and then we're going to see where we're at. And I definitely, he's told me to find, the radiologist and the surgeon and all of that. So I have a road ahead of me.
Yeah.
But you know, I am really big into mind body healing. So I feel like there's no way I can heal if I stay upset and, worried about it. I
Yeah.
have to like think positive. And I've always believed in that, but it's hard. It's hard when you're in that
Of
situation.
course.
But I recently just watched this documentary, Heal, which I suggest everybody to watch it, whether you have symptoms or a diagnosis or not, to prevent it. But it's really about how nutrition in your mind and your body, and it can work miracles and it can work wonders. So I don't know. I'm doing a lot of meditation, a lot of visualization, trying to shrink it, a lot of juicing with funky things. And, that's all I can do. It's out of my power. I have to, just surrender and fight like hell. That's it. That's all I can do.